Despite those headwinds, experts from 25 countries, including China, Russia, and the US, open a 10-day meeting in Geneva Monday aiming to lay the groundwork for a treaty to keep space peaceful. Even against the grim diplomatic backdrop, experts say there may be reasons for optimism. I hope I am not just indulging in wishful thinking here, but I do see some positive initiatives against this rather dark background, said Paul Meyer, Canada's former disarmament ambassador and an expert on space security at the Simons Foundation in Vancouver. Hardware v. Action. The closed-door Geneva talks involve a UN panel called a Group of Governmental Experts, GGE. Chaired by Brazilian Ambassador Guilherme Aguiar Patota to the UN Conference on Disarmament, the Space GGE works on consensus and will only issue a report if all parties agree on its content. Diplomatic efforts to forge a space treaty have been deadlocked for more than a decade. A main problem, experts said, is that China and Russia have insisted on preventing certain devices from being deployed in space. This has been a non-starter for the West, which has instead favored language that emphasizes behavior or actions in outer space that could be restricted. Patota told reporters the level of dialogue at the first GGE meeting in August was several notches better than in the past, with China and Russia indicating an openness to new ideas. At next week's second and final meeting, the GGE will try to agree on a list of elements that could form a treaty, he said. We are making a big step here, he added. Why hope? Patota noted that one factor possibly motivating states to move forward is the notion of vulnerability in space. Notwithstanding the rhetoric of a leader like Trump who boasts of ever-expanding defense budgets, military professionals understand that overwhelming dominance is not enough to protect a nation's space assets, experts said. It is very difficult for any action to defend their assets in space alone, she added. Dozens of countries including developing nations now operate satellites and that list will only grow, he said. The question governments face is, where are the best interests of the nation served? Meyer said. Is it in sparking a further arms race relating to this very vital environment for global prosperity, or is it in making an effort to devise arrangements with some of your potential adversaries, to keep space peaceful, he added. Space Force. Patota conceded that Trump's move in August to create a new military branch dedicated to space hangs over the talks. But, he said, U.S. participation so far had been constructive. West stressed that despite Trump's inflammatory rhetoric, parts of his Space Force proposal are actually not that confrontational. Some of it is a bureaucratic reorganization, which will see personnel already working on space in the Navy, Air Force, and Army brought under one roof. The U.S. is also just following moves made in China and Russia, which already have military departments dedicated to space, experts noted. Breaking point? Patota said that any kind of consensus document that outlines a potential path towards a treaty would be a success for the GGE. The consequences of failure are harder to predict. Some expect the talks to sputter out and join a long list of UN disarmament efforts that have fallen flat. But, West warned, the stakes next week may be higher. I think we are reaching a breaking point, and this may be the last opportunity to step back from the brink and maintain outer space as a direct combat-free zone, she said. If we do slip over the edge, then reining it in will be near impossible.